Luffy has a dream. This scene was extremely popular and memorable, but there's another instance where he mentioned the word dream. Have any of you noticed? That scene might be linked to the secret of Raftel. By the way, where do you think Laugh-Tale is located? In my view, the most significant hint can be found in chapter 490. Do you recall this episode? It's when the Straw Hat Pirates, having just welcomed Brook into their crew, embarked from Thriller Bark and journeyed to the Red Line on the side of Maryjois. At first glance, the phenomena they encounter during this voyage may seem unrelated to the plot. However, I think these experiences may contain the most substantial clues to the whereabouts of Laugh-Tale. Additionally, the presence of beings like Laboon the whale could be tied to Laugh-Tale as well. In this video, I want to delve into these theories and the core elements of the One Piece narrative, drawing on interpretations from the original version. Anyway, welcome to another episode of Dawn Dusk. You might find it surprising, but Stella, the owner of this channel, is currently involved in manga translation. If you're a manga artist and need help with translating your work into Japanese, please don't hesitate to contact me. You can reach out via Instagram messages or Gmail. Also, I'm creating content related to the Japanese language. So if you're interested, consider joining our Telegram group for studying Japanese. I'm also looking forward to discussing Japanese expressions that are used in manga like One Piece. In any case, my hope is for us to grow this channel together as true Nakama. In the world of One Piece, fog and clouds are often used to conceal something. Firstly, there's Zunisha. A description that personally struck me is when Momonosuke decided not to open the land of Wano, a world government official reported to the 5 Stars of Wisdom. Is it true that the elephant has disappeared? Yes, slowly into the fog. Zunisha always appears accompanied by fog. This fog may not be a natural phenomenon, but could be artificially created through the technology of a great kingdom. In fact, in the world of One Piece, clouds are indeed artificially processed. Remember the villages of Skypiea? There's the hidden village among the clouds, where the Shandia people live. It's literally an island hidden in the clouds. Moreover, the Golden City was below the clouds, while the Golden Bell was above them. Thus, everything precious was hidden by the clouds. Let's turn our attention next to the enigmatic shadow from Thriller Bark. Interestingly, the fog here also showcases a whirl pattern. This pattern is strikingly similar to the one observed during Zunisha's appearances, hinting at a potential intentional role in obscuring its identity. Look at the original narration from that time. The white fog thickens today as usual. It veils the face of a sea monster with a white shroud. In this way, in the world of One Piece, it seems there's another world in the clouds or fog. By the way, the model for the Florian Triangle is likely the Bermuda Triangle. Let's look at the description of the Florian Triangle in One Piece.
In that sea, more than 100 ships disappear every year, and then ships are found from which only the crew members have disappeared. Information on witnesses of ghost ships roaming the sea with the dead never ends.
The mystery of the ghost ship in this description from Kokoro was revealed. It was the ship Brook was traveling on, but the rumor that only crew members disappear remains a mystery. The Bermuda Triangle is a triangular sea area bordered by the tip of the Florida Peninsula, Puerto Rico in the Atlantic, and the Bermuda Islands. For a long time, there have been many incidents where ships, airplanes, or just their crew members disappear without a trace. It can't be scientifically explained and is often treated as a cult or paranormal phenomena. Various theories have emerged amidst this, including sudden weather changes, alien theories, magnetic anomalies, and various conjectures have been made. There's also the black hole theory, which says there's an urban legend that there's a black hole connecting another world in the Bermuda Triangle. Perhaps in the world of One Piece, this alternate dimension exists in places shrouded in fog and clouds, much like the Florian Triangle. This could potentially explain the attack on Maryjois by the giant robot. Even Vegapunk admitted that he didn't know where this giant originated from. Mariahoa is located at the summit of the Red Line, but let's take a look at the region near the top of the Red Line. It's enshrouded in fog. Perhaps this robot even emerged from this fog. And in the scene where the robot actually attacks Mariahoa, you can observe the presence of fog. This might also explain the attack that wiped out the kingdom of Lulusha, which may have been orchestrated using a weapon controlled by Im. Before the attack, the sky over the kingdom of Lulusha began to darken. Moreover, Sabo mentioned, something black was flying above the clouds. The implication here is that the weapon used in this attack might have emerged from the clouds. This weapon might either be capable of freely moving within the clouds while shrouded in them, like Zunisha or the mysterious shadow, or it could be a weapon that manipulates the clouds themselves for attack. In either case, considering Vegapunk's involvement, there's a high probability that this attack is related to the technology of the Colossal Kingdom. I will explain more about this weapon in a separate video. Let me add some more information to support this theory. In the world of One Piece, it's possible to create dimensional spaces with the ability of the Door fruit and black holes with the ability of the Dark fruit. Perhaps there might be a dimensional space in the fog of the One Piece world. In the world of One Piece, we've already confirmed the existence of a scientific method for space-time travel. Let's consider Vegapunk's original statement where he queries, was space-time distorted during the warp? These characters represent the concept of teleportation. Interestingly, even though the pronunciation of these characters is Shunkan Idu, the term warp is used in its phonetic annotations. This word warp has also been used in other contexts. Does anyone recall? It was the phrase dream warp zone uttered by Luffy when he saw the White Storm. This implies that even if indirectly, the warp zone may have some connection to Luffy's dream. Luffy's dream hasn't been unveiled yet, but Oda-sensei has already laid out numerous hints. Among these, and then he continued as follows. I might be able to do it once I become the Pirate King. To realize his dream, he must become the Pirate King. So what must he do to become the Pirate King? He needs to reach Laugh Tale and secure the One Piece. So how will they locate Laugh Tale? By way of the warp zone of dream, this suggests a need to use the warp zone to access an alternate space, which could potentially be within the fog. A trove of hints are crammed into chapter 490. This episode features the mysterious shadow from Thriller Bark. Here, Luffy and his crew find themselves up against the Red Line once again. The fog is heavily emphasized in this depiction. And in the midst of this, Luffy reasserts his ambition to become the Pirate King. An important clue might be tied to what they encountered before arriving here after setting sail from Thriller Bark. They witnessed a circular rainbow and subsequently navigated through a serpentine current. Many of you might have already put the pieces together. This circular rainbow could be symbolizing the gateway to an alternate space. And this snake-like current might just be a representation of the White Storm, which is the warp zone leading to the dream. Laugh Tale might be waiting just beyond. Finally, I'll provide additional information to further substantiate this hypothesis. There are two more things that could potentially be concealed within the clouds. Can you guess what they might be? Oddly enough, when Dr. Clover imagines the Great Kingdom, it's surrounded by clouds. The same goes for Laugh Tale. If you look at the scene where Roger arrives at Laugh Tale, you can see something that resembles clouds or fog. Inuarashi once made a revealing comment about Laugh Tale, referring to it as the final unseen island. This might suggest that, physically, Laugh Tale could be invisible from the outside world. Consequently, it's conceivable that a portal to an alternate dimension resides within the fog denoted by the 4 road poneglyphs, and one could reach Laugh Tale by navigating through this warp zone. But can one hide an entire island within an alternate dimension? Kaido's feat of relocating Onigashima suggests it might be possible. He was able to achieve this through his power, the Uo Uo no Mi, model Azure Dragon. Those who have read One Piece in Japanese may have already made this connection. How is White Storm expressed in Japanese? Yes, it's Shiroaryu, which translates to White Dragon. So in the same way that the Azure Dragon moved Onigashima, the White Dragon might have been responsible for moving Laugh-Tale to an alternate dimension. Do you remember what happened at the end of chapter 490? The Straw Hat Pirates met Kami, the mermaid. Roger and his crew arrived at Laugh-Tale and they were laughing there. It's possible that Roger was laughing about the story of Joy Boy and the mermaid princess. There's one thing I haven't touched on in this video yet: whales. I'd like to talk about them in a separate video. Their existence, I believe, is likely crucial to the story of One Piece.